Welcome to the So You Wanna Get Fat podcast. I am your host, Chef BriantsAO, not your typical chef. And today with me, as always, is my wonderful ball of French buttery goodness.
Merry Christmas, everyone!
You asshole. I specifically asked him not to mention the holidays to date this episode. And we have our guests, my dear friends, fellow Brooklynites, Lauren and Cy, the consuming couple. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. We're happy to be here. The pressure's been taken off by him mentioning Christmas now. So
Now we can't mess up.
Asshole. I hate you so much. All right. We are filming this around Christmas time. Probably by the time it comes out, it'll be well into January, and everyone in the comments is going to be like, oh, you guys film way ahead, but whatever. I'm just happy to have you guys on today.
Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, we just had an epic lunch, probably one of the heaviest lunches
Pretty much.
one can have.
It was a big lunch, but I'm glad we got it in.
Yes. And we got desserts and espresso.
Cafe.
Yeah, cafe.
I went for a French beer.
And a French beer. Yeah.
Cheers.
All right. Hey. So, okay, well, I wanted to bring on the consuming couple, my buddies Lauren and Cy, because, well, you guys do a very different part of food social media. You guys focus more on short form content. We focus more on long form content, but we've had so many epic dinners and lunches together.
For sure.
Where we just talk content and the creative aspect of it. So definitely a lot more to come on the podcast. But really quick, just let everyone know. I know I gave a little introduction already, but let the people know a little bit more about what you guys do.
The quick rundown is we focus on global food, mainly within New York, but now we started to travel as well. We originally got big on Instagram and
really TikTok first.
TikTok I guess first, and it was eating around the world without leaving New York City. During the pandemic, getting people to try different cuisines, different foods, and amazing what you can find in the outer boroughs.
Yeah.
And that kind of started it for us. Originally, we had a food truck, so back in England, and we did buffalo wings, like New York style wings.
Yeah, classic American grub. It started because we were at a festival, Glastonbury Festival.
That's New York. That's New York radiators, everybody. Yeah.
And hungover, obviously.
Yeah.
And I really, my go-to hangover food has always been buffalo wings or fried chicken. I mean, a lot of people want
Everybody's.
I think I opened the heater rather than close it.
Oh, you close it?
Yeah.
Okay. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Oh, you did open it.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Wait, lefty loose? Yeah, okay.
Righty tighty. So you're closing it, going right, righty tighty.
No, that's what I did do. Righty tighty.
Yeah. So it's usurping the last, the breath in it. That's what's happening.
Oh, okay.
That was a big word for you.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. My vocabulary ain't very good. You know, I did grow up in the East, so I'm sorry. So buffalo wings.
So yes, we're at Glastonbury. We're hungover. All I want is that crispy skin on the buttery buffalo sauce. That's all I want. We searched the whole festival. Literally could not find either of these things. And so that's when we decided we're gonna bring this food to people, because also the British don't really understand what buffalo sauce is. They literally had people asking us, "Does this have buffalo in it?" So they either had no idea what it is, or they had it in the States and were like, "Oh my God, you do buffalo wings?" Like, it was a very...
Then we had like a niche crowd that would come to us and be like, I need proper wings. I need New York style wings,
Well, how
buffalo
niche
wings.
did you get? Did you make your own sauce? Did you which sauce
We used
did
Frank's
you
as a base.
You don't need to mess around with Frank's.
Frank's hot sauce.
Yeah, and then you just doctor it up.
Sponsor us.
Sponsor us, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did make the barbecue sauce and like honey mustard, because that's not, it's pretty simple.
But you don't
Did you have to bring ranch? Did you have
Frank's.
to bring ranch?
I made blue cheese dip
We made blue cheese dip, homemade blue cheese dip.
with Stilton, so very...
Blue cheese. Well,
Yeah, like creamy, not too in your face, but with a Stilton.
sour cream, blue cheese, salt.
little
Little
bit of
Worcester
mayonnaise,
sauce.
Worcester sauce.
That's it.
Worcester sauce as well? You do Worcester sauce?
I'm sorry, really quick. The red lights are on your cameras, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. No, I'm kind of smashed right now, so I can't remember if I did or not.
No, yeah, red lights on recording. So.
Awesome. Well, really quick, before we go on with the rest of the podcast, there are some things I wanted to cover today, if you guys don't mind. And feel free to chime in if you like. But what happened? Oh, overflowed? It's all right, buddy. Don't you worry. Okay. Well, Frenchy, the podcast that came out today was...
We put out a podcast today?
Yes, we did.
Oh.
Yes.
Should I watch it? Or is it too late?
Sure. Yeah.
Never mind.
Don't worry.
It's too
Never
late.
too late.
No, the podcast that came out today is called Frenchy Lies because you're not really all French. We found out your MyHeritage results, which you are 29% Italian.
Is it 29 or 39?
I don't know.
Just a lot of Italian.
Just a lot of Italian, yeah. But on that episode, we talked about how on the main channel where we do Pro Chef Reacts, the male to female ratio is 90-10. Right? And I mentioned how much the ladies love you. Well, we got more comments talking about how much they love you.
Before we get into this, good or bad?
Oh, good.
Okay, let's do this.
Who's saying the ladies love you?
The ladies love Frenchy. And there is a point I'm going to bring after we go over these comments because Cyrene351 says, French female viewer here. I absolutely love your duo. I'm glad that Frenchy is now the co-host. Can you read that, please?
C'est un vrai plaisir de vous écouter. J'attends les vidéos avec impatience.
And what does that mean?
I have great pleasure listening to you, and I wait your videos with impatience.
Oh, that's very nice. And she said, by the way, I noticed an accent when Frenchy speaks French. Which area you're from? We did cover that. But
yes, the south of France. So I have, when I don't have my American accent, when I speak French, like 2 weeks in, when I'm in France, I have a deep-rooted French Southern accent.
Southern French accent.
Southern French accent, yes. We roll our R's a lot.
Okay. All right.
On roule les R.
The Pyrenees.
The Pyrenees.
The Pyrenees.
A lot of R's in that word too.
All right. Well, Positivity Vibes says, as a proud member of the 10% Women Club, can we have member jackets?
Yes!
Yeah, that's a great idea.
That's a great idea.
But these videos always put a smile on my face. You two are irreplaceable.
Oh, that's nice.
That's very nice. That's very sweet. Very sweet comment.
And you said 90%?
It's 90% male, 10% female.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Here's another one. RJH Little. I'm part of the 10% ladies audience. I must say, we love Frenchy. You two just work together, mesh well, and love the back and forth banter. The sense of humor Frenchy has makes me rewatch some of the older videos. Watching Paul laughing hard at that horse video still makes me laugh. Love you guys. Remember that horse video? We're doing a one.
Yes. But I love that.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. Here's another comment. I'm a woman. I love you both. And I hate lip fillers.
Yeah.
In that video, we talked about lip fillers.
Okay,
And how much you hated it. Yes.
I hate lip fillers.
Let's see. Kimberly C2967 says, don't ever undersell yourself, Brian. Frenchy may be the, shall we say, amuse-bouche of the show, but you're the whole Thanksgiving dinner. Looking forward to visiting your shop.
Ooh.
Hey, well, there's one for me. All right.
There's one for
Yeah,
you.
it needed a little ego boost every now and then. Star parody, whatever. I'm too drunk right now. Oh, I'm part of a special 10% club. You see, the ladies are liking being part of this club. And
Okay, how much of this is it? Because don't forget, we have guests.
Yes, I know. I'm getting to it. Audrey Welsh 4569 says, I, for one, am proud to be a part of the 10% women's club here on SYWGF. I love Frenchy, and I love you too, Brian. Well, I didn't want to bring all this up because I wanted to stroke our egos. I wanted to bring this up because I looked at the latest stats on our channel, Frenchy, on the SYWGF podcast channel. On our main channel, it's 90-10, but guess what?
What?
On this channel, it is an 18% club. 18% female audience.
On which channel?
On this channel, on the
podcast.
SYWGF podcast channel. Yeah.
This thing? This podcast.
On this
So which
podcast.
one were we talking about before?
On the main channel.
What's the main channel?
Pro Chef Reacts.
How is that the main channel?
Because that's the channel where everyone was introduced to you.
Oh.
Yes.
Again, I'm confused.
Doesn't matter. All right, just know.
So
Now,
my numbers are growing.
your numbers are growing.
I'm
yes.
changing your demographic.
You're changing the demographic. Indeed.
Okay.
And then real quick, Le Rivage had a special guest recently. You do have the occasional celebrity walk through the door, and well, we had this guy,
Kiefer Sutherland.
Kiefer Sutherland, and you're wearing your mission hoodie.
I am.
Yes.
Oh, perfect.
Representing.
You're representing. Thank you.
What do you do for me at your place? Where's Le Rivage mentioned that mission
Do you
sandwich?
know how many times a fan will come to my shop and say, I love you and Frenchy, and I'm literally on the phone with you? Or
And I'm thanking you in advance for not putting me on the phone.
yes. Like I'll be to the fan like, I'm sorry, I'm on the phone right now, and then I'll hang up, and they'll be like, that was Frenchy, by the way, and they'll be like, what? No way! Oh! Yeah.
So yeah, he's actually we're the same age approximately. So I grew up like with his career.
Yeah.
But the close relationship there is that my father was a huge fan of his father. So I introduced his son to my dad, and that's how we were able to watch a lot of the same movies and things like that. So their family business was in line with our family business.
Oh, that's
So
a
it
nice
was great.
story. I like that. But can we explain why, Jordan, can you zoom on
The
this
smile?
face right here? Yeah, the lack of smile. Like, you look like you have to take a shit.
Oh, is this where this is going? Why are you taking a good thing and ruining it?
No, that wasn't the intention. Okay.
I was probably giving Gigi direction on how to take the picture and getting annoyed.
All right, everyone, real quick, as of this Sunday from filming this video, by the time this video comes out, the Get Fat merch has officially closed for pre-order, so I want to thank all of you for ordering. It was a knockout hit. We did the coffee mug. We did the t-shirt. And
Do I have a coffee mug yet?
Nope.
Interesting.
Yes. You can have mine.
I don't want yours. Yours is used.
But doesn't that make it better?
No.
Oh, all right.
Makes it filthy. HPV.
Yeah, and every other disease under the sun. Oh, actually, and right before we move on to the main part of our podcast, not ignoring our wonderful guest today, I just wanted to say fans consistently go to both of our restaurants, but one fan in particular today said Thibaut is the man, super nice. Last time I was in Le Rivage.
That's gonna go a long way.
Yeah. So we got to make sure
because he gets the brunt of, he gets the good and all the bad, you know, and he's my buffer.
Yeah.
So like all the bad that I used to get, he kind of
absorbs for
me. Yeah. So he's gonna like that.
He's calling it LR too, so he's not just calling it Le Rivage, like we've already got an abbreviation for it, so that's nice.
He's a fan.
I always like to react to a few clips on the podcast to warm us up a little bit. This, I thought this was particularly fun. Let's check this out.
Oh, I have a Debbie Downer to this already.
Hey, Safi, can you wake up Daddy?
Wake up, bitch.
That's because he...
Safi, how do you feel about Daddy?
Lazy. Bitch. Lazy.
What happened to Daddy?
Safi hurt my leg. Safi, help.
Don't be a baby, bitch.
Is that Daddy? Is Daddy home? Oh my goodness, Daddy's home! Safi, Daddy's home!
Hi.
Why is she walking away from you?
You're late, bitch.
Bitch.
So, in the same line with that, there's a dog that's sure she's been teaching her the dog language, and French Poodle, which are technically the smartest dog breed.
I have a French Poodle. Yeah.
No, that's not a French Poodle.
Yeah, it's a toy
No,
French Poodle.
No, a toy French Poodle is not a French Poodle.
Okay.
French Poodle are big.
Big, yeah.
And they're mean.
Yeah.
But they're super intelligent and slowly progressing learning language. But this dog learns so much language that they feel that the dog is too self-aware and is now depressed.
Oh.
And they had to put the dog on medication.
What?
Yes. Because it became too self-aware.
Wah, wah. Thanks for fucking it up, Frenchy. All right. But I got another clip for us to cheer us up. Oops.
You guys know you can wear diapers whenever you want,
Nope,
like even
nope,
as an adult.
nope,
Like no one
nope.
can stop you. You can wear them under your clothes. They're
Nope.
discreet.
God.
Stop.
Nobody will.
No,
No.
no,
I agree. Too much.
no.
Wait, Tyler, you love poopy humor.
No, not adult poopy humor. Babies, because I have a baby. In line with babies.
I do have a friend who wears a diaper when he goes to see Iron Maiden.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
just so that he doesn't miss any.
Doesn't
of the
have to
show.
leave the front.
He doesn't have to leave the front. He always gets like front row.
Yeah. I respect that.
Okay, anyway, did you know that it would take you about 22.7 years to eat at every restaurant in New York City?
That's good for them.
Yes. There we
We'll be here a while.
Yes.
So how much have you been into this so far?
I mean, we've been here 4 years now. Well, since Laura moved back from England, and we've gotten a good way. I reckon we've done 1,200 posts on Instagram. We did a few hundred before we left. So I reckon we're pushing 1,000 places.
We don't rush it. I don't like to rush it,
10,000
though.
restaurants in New York.
I don't really want to have. I'm not just going to them to knock them off a list or anything.
Yeah.
We kind of just. Also,
When I say restaurants too, I mean places. So it could be like a street cart. It could be a cocktail bar that doesn't have food. But
So the easier question would be how often you eat at home in a week.
Speaking of eat, I'm gonna have some of that peach
up
melba.
and down. It's up and down. I think
Oh, it's melting.
we try and film content a decent amount within a few days, and then have days at home where we just edit and figure it out like that. So
yeah, I feel like probably 50%. But it's like maybe it'll be takeout. It's not like I'm cooking every day or have
Yeah, but that takeout is not work.
sometimes.
Oh.
Right, so you don't make content out of it.
we don't make content out of it, and then if not, when we're at home, we try and eat super healthy because there's no way else you can stay in any sort of shape,
Right, especially
unless
like-
you eat super healthy.
What are you
at
talking about? Round is a shape.
home. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
To come back to the beginning of the podcast, introducing you guys tackle a very different style of content, very different from what we do. We occasionally feature a restaurant on our content, but I mean, this is your thing. This is what you guys do. You know, how did it start? And, you know, was it a natural progression? Or was it literally, let's cover restaurants on our Instagram? Like,
And my only added question to that, because it's how I do everything. Are you guys having fun doing it?
Yeah, we're loving it. So originally we started by having the food truck, and then we had that for 4 years. And from there, in the off season, we mainly did festivals. So it was like April to October was where we earned all our money, and then we do some Christmas and little events.
And odd jobs, like I would work at the
Yeah.
local pub in the winter, and that was kind of a fun different side of it.
keep us going. And then in the winter, we'd often be sharing about other things we're trying, and then towards the fourth year, we actually just started about sharing that traders are next to us, because one day there'd be a Thai guy, the next day there'd be Malaysian food, the next day there'd be French food, and we were sharing
But
that.
with the food truck, you're actually on the scene.
Yeah.
So you're there.
So we're getting the behind the scenes as much as you can, because we had our food truck, the next person had a pop-up.
And because you have that link, you have a little inside link with them, and then they like we would extend professional courtesy. If I had the food truck next to you, I was like, yeah, come in.
Well, it's like earlier at lunch, you're like, I don't need to eat every single one of these items because I've had them a million times. So everyone just wanted to literally trade lunch. And that's kind of how it.
And that's what happens when we go to when we do the food festivals. I like
The food swaps are the best.
Like everybody wants to. Oh, I'll give you that.
It was so fun.
Yeah,
That is the
they want chicken. They want
Yeah.
chicken wings. We want laksa. You know,
Yeah.
it's like
it's
that
a camaraderie.
Yeah.
Camaraderie. So you guys started with a food truck. I'm assuming you guys were doing content for your food truck.
Yeah, very little to be honest, but this was 9 years ago when we started it.
Yeah.
So social media then wasn't as much of a relevant thing. It kind of was still just photos. It was really only Instagram, and then like TikTok didn't exist yet, or
TikTok
maybe it
didn't
was
exist, no, it's all
Musically.
pictures.
So yeah, we started posting the photos of the other traders, and then eventually decided we're going to move back to New York, closed the business, and changed our food truck account. So it used to be Lola's Wings. That's my nickname. And then that account became Consuming Couple in about 20.
Wait,
18.
What happened to the food truck?
The food truck, it was like 2018. We were living in Devon, like in a place called Croy Bay, like my hometown. And then we're traveling to all these events and we're doing some in the hometown because it's kind of like a Montauk, like very touristy in summer and then really quiet in winter. And we were like, we even need to move to Bristol or London and do markets all year and potentially open a restaurant. But the plan was always to move back to New York. And we're like, why are we going to do that? Why don't we just skip this middle step? So we just decided we were going to move to New York and then figure it out from there. I couldn't work for the first few months, so I was just doing like bits on the side.
Yeah, I had a few restaurant jobs when we got here.
And then we were trying
being
to
the breadwinner.
Yeah.
But what happened to the food truck?
The food truck, we
just
sold the
closed.
truck, but
Yeah.
not as the business.
No?
Because the amount of money you could get more, we didn't want someone else to have the brand
You
of
never
it.
know.
because
We
it
might
was-
do a Lola's Wings pop up in New York someday.
Yeah. We talked about it, but it's been a while now. Hasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, so what I want to get at is your evolution from a food truck to now the dirty word food influencer, right? But I'm pretty confident in saying that you guys never envisioned that for yourselves. It was like a progression, or was it, right? You were covering other food and it just
Yeah.
was fun.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, pretty much. That was the.
It came out of really us having a few, like realizing that social media was important to bring people to our food truck because we're often at different places, different events. And then we would get someone, like we did a regular street food event in Cardiff in Wales, and we had someone come eat our wings without knowing. She posted about it. The next festival we did there, we had the biggest line.
Yeah.
And we were like, what is going on? And then we saw the post and we were like, oh, wow. And then so we realized there was something in this. And, you know, as kind of both things happened at the same time, we realized that we were posting about other people's stuff and we thought, well, why don't we give this a go while we're, you know, thinking about what we're going to open in New York or what we're going to do. And I don't know, it just kind of kicked off a little bit, didn't
And
it?
it did take a while for us to really find our footing in New York because moving countries it costs a lot of money. He couldn't work. So there was a middle period where we weren't really sure, but we were still posting, and it really, I guess, kicked off in 2020 when we didn't have jobs at all. And we were just living with my mom. I think we were just posting, started on TikTok from our archives. We were posting like pictures on TikTok and just saying, these are our like desserts we like, or we did.
Even though people couldn't eat really in New York at that stage, they wanted to see 5 places you had been to.
Right.
And then we did a few at-home ones. We did our wings recipe and just like whacked it on.
Yeah.
And we were cooking off the little burner on the side of the barbecue with a pan and like trying to get that oil as hot as possible.
We
to
made
do it. We were just
butterbeer
making it
one
work.
day. We filmed us making butterbeer because it was like a British, we were doing random shit basically.
And so what is the inflection point? Sounds like the pandemic, because it was
Yeah.
the same way for me and my
a lot of
YouTube
people.
channel. But what was the point where you guys came, where you realized rather, oh, like I can make a living off of this?
When we started eating around the world without leaving New York City, when we moved back to our apartment, I guess like 4 or 5 months after the start of it, and we just went, all right, we're going to try this. We'd had this series idea for a while. We were living in Jackson Heights, Elmhurst, like right on the border there. We knew there were so many different cuisines in New York. So we thought, this is actually what we want to do. We love trying all these places. Why don't we see how many countries we can get to?
In the middle point, we were kind of following the trends when we didn't know how to progress it. You know, posting more the food porn style, which there are so many people who do that really well. But that's not the type of food we want to eat every day.
Right.
So it didn't feel like exciting. We were kind of like, well, why are we actually doing this?
Yeah.
And then his idea, he'd had that idea since we moved back, and we're like, well, this is the perfect time to do it because we can just do this every day.
Yeah.
We have
And
no
people
jobs.
wanted to travel as well, and they couldn't travel, so they're kind of living vicariously by going to a restaurant or
Right.
getting that takeout food and experiencing that.
And I think the people liked how it was a bit, you know, off the cuff. We would eat on the back of my car.
Oh, the quality was so
Car.
bad. The quality when we
It
first
was,
started was
you know,
horrendous.
Yeah, but would you say that the attraction and uniqueness is you two? That's the uniqueness. It's not so much the content, but how you're presenting it.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, and it's,
Right?
it's
It
more
has to
about-
be.
I think about people interested in trying different things. I think we really got them to step outside of their comfort zone and be like, okay, today we're going to go for Bhutanese food. And, you know, it started with Thai and, you know, Italian and we moved from there. I think people were interested in trying new things and our side of it of actually having a restaurant background that we can give a bit more of an insight other than this is really buttery and it's, oh my, iconic and this and delicious. And I think that helped having that aspect to share as well.
And so to go back to my original point though, did you guys ever see yourself doing this?
Like it definitely was a progression. We wanted to be in food media or the food space, but we didn't really know what that looked like as a full-time income.
Did you even think it was going to be something you can make an income?
I mean, did we? I really don't.
At a stage there was. Right. It wasn't at the start for sure. Right. We were like, we just enjoy doing this. Yeah. So why don't we give this a go and see what happens?
And I do have a travel blog website. And
come on, plug it now.
NYToAnywhere.com.
The 10%. You can go.
I share a lot of New York State like boutique hotels and different getaways you can do. So I already had that going, knowing I'm making money on it. So I knew there was something, like whether it was we started a food blog or something else, I knew that you could make money because I had a blog, you know, making some income, not crazy amounts, but a little bit of affiliate here and there.
My dad, so I grew up on a hotel. My dad used to be a chef actually. So he worked in Claridge's, was a commie chef and did a few chefing jobs and then moved into the other side of hospitality and opened hotels. So we moved down to where I grew up when I was 1. Yeah. And we had a house, but it was like right on the resort, property. So I grew up there since I was 1 until I moved out. And, you know, I did like breakfast jobs there. I worked behind the bar. And then eventually like I started doing some marketing for them. When we had the food truck, we did 4 days a week. Lauren ran it full time. I did 4 to 5 days a week on that. And then 2 to 3 days a week for my dad in marketing. So I was realizing that we were inviting content creators, bloggers, down, and that was making a massive difference to the business. So we kind of had a bit of that side too. Like Lauren was doing it, I was having a marketing role, plus we were in the food side. So there was okay, we know this works, but it wasn't like I want to be an influencer.
A way that we knew that you could make money like this. Are you still helping out your dad?
Not anymore. No.
Well, he's retired.
He retired now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All good.
So
All good.
okay.
He's retired. He's retired.
Yeah, worked out nicely.
Well, one of the things I really wanted to bring up is, and I keep saying this evolution, right? You never guessed you would be here today. I'm sure you would have never imagined you're getting like quote unquote paid to eat out or, you know, like document this part of your life. Just like I never imagined Frenchy and I would be doing a podcast. Like I never imagined we'd be doing YouTube. For lack of a better term, there are many people who envy us, right? They envy what? Well, this is what I'm getting at. They envy us, Frenchy and I, as being business owners, restaurant owners. Oh, you must make a ton of money.
My dad used to always say, I don't wish a restaurant business on my worst enemy.
So
I don't see it
my dad always said to us as kids, he was like, get out of this business if you can, only do it if you really love it.
So I have a lot of kids, and the number one rule is nobody's doing this.
Really?
This is it. Nobody's doing. So get your career in line, because this is nothing that you can fall back on. I will destroy it before you fall back on it.
The grass is always greener on the other side, right?
And
always. And for you guys as, again, food influencers and stuff like that, covering content, you guys got it kicked off during the pandemic at a low, right? And it evolved into this thing. And what I really try to drive into everything I do on social media is that, like, my career is built on the bricks of my failures. You know, like and also what you said, your dad always used to say, like, I've forgotten more than you'll ever remember.
I like the quote in your bio. It's like, what is it?
I'm not smart. I just failed a lot. You know, it's just a lot of people.
Wait, what? Bio?
In my Instagram, it says, I'm not smart. I just failed a lot.
I remembered it because it's it's a.
Do I have something like that?
No, you need something like that. You should put Marcel's quote.
It's rememberable.
Yeah. You know,
where do you put that?
In the bio of your Instagram page. I'll help you out later, baby. I got you.
You know what a bio is, or
a biography, right?
Yeah,
of your Instagram page. Yeah, there's a section.
Just like,
you know where that goes.
Where under handle, you just have like a little blurb.
Handle.
We'll take care of this later. I got you. I got you, buddy. Don't worry. I got your back.
Okay, I just want to make a point before I forget about it. But if you think about all this technology and this social media, this is a business that you really that will not translate. If you're the star of the show, it doesn't translate to a business that you can give to your children or anything. No. It's unique to you. Yeah. It's kind of like being an actor or an artist. Yeah. You know, you can't really, you know, maybe you can do
there's some influence there.
Yeah, you can bring in somebody and then maybe
I think it could lead to other things that you could, you know, be.
But it doesn't translate as a family or something that's durable for through generations.
It's not tangible.
Yeah.
It's not a tangible thing. But also what I keep bringing up is like, people forget how much you have to suffer for your success, right? Like how much you have to just put in all this work. It's all the work that people don't see on camera.
Yeah, but that's how it tastes sweet after.
Well, exactly. That's my point. You don't realize how sweet something is until you've had the sour.
Oh, wow. They just came up overnight. Not even saying that about us, but about a lot of other bigger. And I even catch myself doing that. Oh my God, like where did this person come from? You know, but that's not always true.
I'll even grant this to people who are overnight successes is you don't know what their past was. Right. What did they experience? You don't know the detriment that they've experienced to create the reason why they became a success overnight. Because maybe it took, you know, being
trying
miserable.
Things.
Well, how long did you guys have your food truck before you started your, you know?
We had the food truck 4 years, and it was an amazing learning experience for us. One, from a naivety side, we started with organic free-range chicken wings, which we kept throughout the whole thing. But then, you know, we just did wings at the start. Then we added a fried chicken sandwich because people didn't like bones. I didn't realize other people didn't like eating bones. You know, and
French people like chicken wings are like, what? No.
Yeah.
Like, French people is a hard sell.
4 years for the food truck alone.
Yep.
Right?
4 years. First year we just took any event we could get. We had no reputation, so we just said yes to whatever and tried to figure it out. Some of them were horrendous. And then on the other spectrum, we did the NFL in London, and we did outside of that where it's very corporate.
NFL?
It's just this like football thing. They call it football, but it's not real football. It's like American football.
Wait, NFL themed.
Yeah, they go to.
You know they do.
Let's take it slow. Let's take it slow. Let's back up.
You know they do NFL games in London at Wembley.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they play like 4 NFL games a year in Europe. They're doing 3 in London right now. I think they did 1 in Germany this year. So we had the wing track outside of that, and it was
so does not now make it legitimately classable as worldwide champions.
Yeah, they're trying.
Potentially.
They're definitely trying.
Yeah.
Because now they're in England.
the US and Europe, and then
4 years for the food truck, and then you guys came back to New York, and in 2020 is when you kicked it off. So 4 years plus since 2020. We're almost in 2024. So let's safely say about 8 years. You got your journey
in the food world.
Yeah, in the food world, an 8-year journey, and I would say, from my perspective, you guys are at the top of your game right now. 8 years for them to be at the top of their game. 40 years for him to make me do all the work for him on the podcast. 20 years for myself. Like,
so why would you say I was at the top of my game then?
You've been on the top of your game.
Okay, but how long did it take to get there?
You?
When did you start in the restaurant?
In this restaurant?
In this restaurant or any restaurant, but I would assume it would be here first.
1982.
I was born in 1984.
Fuck to you.
No, listen, you've been well established, and I bring this up on the podcast all the time. You are much more established than me. Frenchy's always been like my go-to guy for advice and all this. He's always been big brother to me. And like even me wanting to try to move my family to Jersey, don't tell my wife. You know, even that, like, you know, thinking of expanding into Jersey for the Mission brand. We'll see if that happens. But, you know, I always used you, and not to stroke your ego because it doesn't fucking need it. But I've always I've always used Frenchy as like my marker of like, okay, you know, this is where I want to go towards and stuff like that.
But how do you measure the gap?
I don't really measure the gap. It's just like I almost use you as a roadmap. I'm not concerned. Like, you know, I have asked you, by what? Remember, actually, a few months ago, I was like, what age were you when you felt like I have my flow? Like I know what I'm doing now. Like I feel confident.
Oh, I remember.
Remember that?
And I remember my
conversation?
answer.
Yeah. And you were younger than me because I told Frenchy, I was like, man, I feel like I'm in my flow. Like I feel like I know what I'm doing. I'm not necessarily where I want to be, but I'm very confident in my decision making now. And I'm almost 40 and you were in your early 30s, I think your answer was.
What was my answer? No, not the age, but like, how did I know that I was? I had a good thing.
You tell him. You tell him.
When you start paying your fucking bills.
On time?
Yeah, on time. Yeah, and I pay my bills on time now. So, and I'm almost 40. So for all these people who are like 20 something years old and like, oh, you know, you're seeing all this shit on social media. I wish I was that successful. Like, no, it's all smoke and mirrors. It took you guys 8 years to be where you're at. And I'm pretty sure this isn't your ceiling either, right? Like what other aspirations do you guys have?
We just started YouTube, which we'll be asking you lots and lots of things about.
Maybe not you. Maybe.
Not me. Yeah, he went there. Maybe not you.
I told you you'd like these guys.
You know what? Thank you.
Yeah, there's a few things past here. We're still figuring it out. And this year was one of those years of kind of our first year of the food truck, just figuring it out. We had the couple of years of growth on Instagram, hit a level now where we're comfortable and we're earning good money off it. And now we're figuring out what is next. And we don't always want to be in front of the camera or personality or influencer. And we've always said that we try to be insiders, not influencers, that it did start from us having a food truck, that we try and go behind the scenes and get in the kitchen and get a different look and a different perspective. So I think down the line, we want to have a platform, but be able to put other people on. And one of the things
Which is
we do
why
right
we just
now-
started the second account.
Yeah.
Yeah, called Eating with Experts. So you've done that with us already.
Thank you. They featured me numerous times.
Yeah, but we just started that. So,
But I see what you mean about them. Like we can grow with them. Like this is like a relationship that we can grow with.
So here's another thing is what I love about our relationship is we're so collaborative, right? Like everything's on the table, right? And we don't hold back. And I mean, this is not to say about every relationship with influencers and content creators and stuff like that, because we've certainly shared things about YouTube content creators who are pieces of shit and, will copyright strike and stuff like that. But as far as like everyone at this table, it's very collaborative. And I really wanted you guys on because I really wanted to capture it on the cameras for people to see like, listen, high tide raises all ships, right? And there's so much fucking like anger and hate and this and that right now. It's just
there's a lot of jealousy and
jealousy. Yes, that's another word. There's all this jealousy. There's all this FOMO. It's like, no, guys, it's not necessarily about FOMO because you guys, this isn't the end for you. This isn't the end for me. I'm
under, and this has always worked for me, is whatever you put out comes back to you.
Right.
So the more you put out, the more good you put out, the more, like, that's why, like, when you, this is me saying this, so it's kind of like, it's kind of weird, but like, it's sappy, but it's like, it really is true. Like, you get more out of giving than getting. And that goes back to, like, we were talking about experience. And then come to think of it, like as much as this is new to me, and this is a new concept, all of this, but like, look how many years that people have tried to put me on TV.
Right.
And I wanted to be myself, and it never worked out. Because I wanted to be myself, I had so many TV pilots and shows fail because I just wanted to be me.
Right.
And
there's always an agenda. For
and
the
it
other
never
person.
worked out. I got canceled before. I can't tell you how many pilots are sitting on a shelf in Hollywood that are never going to happen.
Right.
And this is finally, I come on your show.
Yeah. And you're just unfiltered you.
And I get to be me, and it works. So this is the first time that I get to be me, and it's successful.
So, and I'm not saying this to shit on you right now, okay? But you're on the older side, right? And you are coming at this point now. Like, it took you this long to get here. You guys even said, like, you want to evolve. And what I'm trying to, like, convey right now, the point I'm getting at, bringing up your age and where you guys want to go, and even this channel, is that number one, it's never too late. But number 2, no one got it fucking figured out. No one has it figured out at any age. Like, you can be confident in your decisions, you can be confident in who you are and what you output, but it's like this constant evolution. And like, I can't tell you how many times you see content and all these sad stories about people not knowing what they want to do and feeling like they're behind in life. It's like, no, like Frenchy's still learning, he's still growing, you know, like you guys are still like,
I'm growing sideways.
you know, like, I just want people to really understand the evolution never stops.
Yeah.
You know, and in many ways, that's like the beauty in life, right? So anyway, that's the point I really wanted to drive in particularly.
I'm thinking of the last time I got fired from a TV show.
And, well, do tell.
I literally got fired or was put on a plane back the same day.
Really? Wait, tell more. What happened?
You
don't have to give specifics about like what the show is.
I can't get specific because there's an NDA, but there was a scene, we were filming a scene, and they wanted me to talk into a...
You told me this.
I told you.
Yeah. No, they don't know the story. Yeah.
So it was a reality show, and but they wanted me to open up a chest where there was going to be meat inside, but they put a camera in the chest looking up at me opening up the chest, and they were like, how is this reality? How is there a TV in the chest and I'm opening up a chest and
there's no meat in there?
And there's no meat in there. I'm pretending. So now I'm pretending. So how is this reality? It's like, yeah, but go with it. It's like, but I know I can't. I can't.
Yeah.
There's nothing real. And I insist, and they were like, back and forth, and then they had me sitting on and waiting. It's like, we're done, and I was fired.
The same day.
Yeah, and we had shot already.
Just
like,
for the meat box?
Well, because I couldn't. I was being difficult.
You couldn't get past.
And they were like, this guy's not gonna. It's not gonna work out.
You're on someone else's schedule, someone else's vision.
Well, it's a reality show. So it didn't make sense to me that I was talking to an empty chest.
Reality. Yeah.
So, but I wasn't self-aware yet. I didn't understand this. I was like, it is a reality show. It's as is. We tape it, we cut, we move on. No, it's planned out. As you know, reality shows came out of the fact that they didn't want to pay writers, so they saved money though. So they made money from reality shows because it was economically profitable, and then but still the producers and everything are giving direction, so there is a script technically, right? So, but I was like, but I wasn't on board with that. I didn't get it. But they can't admit to that. It's got to be, you need to be on board without them acknowledging that you're on board.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't get on board.
No.
So bring it back to you guys. What are some of the trends, or are there some trends you'd like to see die a horrible death? Or is there something you're excited about? Let us know from your perspective, because people know our perspective already.
I mean, to be honest, part of the reason we're moving to long form videos, because we're just over the same, this is so amazing, you have to go here, hidden gem. Like, everyone says the same shit, because they're trying to capture attention in a 30-second video, and they tell you basically nothing about what the actual experience. And this is even us. We feel like we can't actually tell the full story. Mm-hmm. So yeah, for us, we're just moving over to that type of content to be able to give a more clear picture and a full story instead of just attention grabbing.
Right.
Whatever the trend is, people gravitate towards that. When we first came into it, it was more reviewing and doing a restaurant review and going to the restaurant and giving your opinion on it. But most of those people were getting the food for free, so the review wasn't a legit review anyway. But now it's what we tried to do when we first came into it, which was more storytelling. And at that stage, we weren't doing a great job, but now we do a much better job of it. And now everyone's trying to tell a story, but it just feels like people are trying to tell a story for virality and for likes and being like, oh my God, this like sob story in a way, and they made this amazing thing. And that's nice, but it doesn't feel like the people making those videos actually care or actually know about the food. They're just making a video. And I
mean, there are definitely some people we are like, oh, they're doing a great job at that. But definitely not everyone feels like they're doing it for an authentic reason.
So what do you call that? The algorithm is working off popularity and not content.
Well, always. The algorithm will always focus on what's
Aren't you
popular.
impressed that I said that line?
Yeah.
I'm impressed, buddy. I'm impressed. And then what are you guys excited for, though? Is there anything you guys have seen that maybe is pushing the boundaries a little bit, or maybe not? I don't know. You guys?
I think now it started with the street interview stuff that was going crazy on Instagram, and what that probably was the encouragement for us to start asking chefs where they eat on their night off and asking bartenders.
Which
and
I
stuff.
love that series. I've been featured on a couple times.
Yours did really well as well. So
Yeah, but that's like but you can get an honest answer because we actually have places we want to go to. And that where has the situation arise that where we're going to mention it?
Right.
Exactly.
True.
And just because I think there's like restaurants now that are new, if they have the money, they're going to get a PR team and they're going to invite influencers in. That's just how it works. But then your feed is just the same. Like everyone is just doing the same thing.
Right.
If you accept all those free
Right.
meals, what about the chefs who actually have been in the industry for 40 years? They actually know New York City restaurants and what is good. They know the level of cooking and all of that. The younger people who were just out, how the fuck do they know?
Yeah.
Oh,
You can
I'm
curse
allowed to
here.
curse here. How the fuck do they know anything
They don't.
about the food
Right.
when you you are still a child?
Yeah. Yes. So I want to make mention that Lauren and Cy don't do paid restaurant reviews. When they came to Mission, I didn't even fucking know they were there. I'm being honest with you. But we became friends and they featured me on their segments of where chefs like to go eat. But, you know, they're not the type of people to go to a place, let me get a free meal and then I'll feature you on our Instagram. Like, you guys pay the shit out of pocket.
yeah, so our policy is always to go in the first time and just pay for the food, and then we'll come back and make a video after if we liked it.
Wait a second. That's very important.
Yeah.
That needs to be like the criteria, the
Well, I would
Yeah.
I would say that's the
Should.
golden standard, and I've spoken.
nobody else is going to admit to that.
It's difficult, right? Because I've also worked on the other side, and you as a restaurant owner, it makes sense to have people in, and people do a very good job of making videos.
Yeah, but just
that
say it
you invite
openly.
in.
But then just say it
Yeah.
openly. If it's not in line with what your rule is, okay, this is out of bounds of our rules.
Yeah.
Then it's okay. That I have no problem with.
But you know, Mission has utilized every spectrum. We have paid influencers to come in, and then
Wait.
we have.
We had this conversation.
Yeah, we did. It's
No,
on
but
the episode
what
that
I'm
came out
saying
today,
is-
buddy.
That people shouldn't. I think it's okay for people to have.
I thought we had this
people come
conversation
and
in
eat
while I
for
was in the
free.
car.
That
Yeah.
too. Yeah. I'm sorry. Well, I'm sorry. Go.
I think it's okay for, as a restaurant owner, to invite people to come and eat in for free. Like, that's fine. That's just not how we do it. And if you're trying to say I give genuine recommendations all the time,
Wait,
you just need to be open and transparent. We go in first time everywhere and pay ourselves, and then we'll come back and reach out and film and then get better shots and stuff like that. And we obviously we mentioned a bit about you, and the only way we don't do that is if it's a chef recommendation. But still, we paid for all of those. Sorry. Other than
Wait a second. Is there a list that restaurants go to and invite these people?
No, not necessarily. No. At least that's not how I did it.
I mean, if you have a PR team, but that's how
So
we
so
get
the
a lot of
PR
invites.
team reaches out to those people?
So we get invites weekly, I mean, if not daily, from PR teams who are hired by restaurants for all sorts of PR. So it could be
we could eat out every single meal of
influencer.
every single day for the year.
I thought that it was the content people making the content that were asking the
It's
restaurants.
both. It's
Sometimes, yeah.
But usually the
So
smaller.
wait a second.
The
So
smaller.
wait a second. But the PR, are they getting paid on both ends?
The PR is getting paid by the restaurant.
Yeah, by the restaurant.
Oh.
And the PR is just kind of aggregating influencers to come in.
Occasionally they'll pay an influencer, the PR will pay an influencer, but generally the restaurant just has money for PR and they pay the PR agency, and then PR agency just gets influencers to go in for a free meal.
That's how
Le
Mission-
Rivage has no PR.
But I think you're at the level, like, you don't need it. I mean, because you're an old school established place, I would say it's
Multi-generation.
Yeah, multi-generation. Like it's the new.
That I've created myself alone.
Yeah. But in some ways, this podcast and
I'm the PR.
Yeah, this is
Actually, you're the PR. Actually, you're the PR now.
Yeah, I am the fucking PR. You know how many times people come to this restaurant? They're like, I came here because of the podcast. Is Frenchy here? And Tebow will be like, Frenchy's not here, but I have Brian. And they'll be like, wait, Brian? Why is Brian at Frenchy's restaurant? And I go down, I take the photo and everything like that. And we're like,
Meanwhile, I'm on the top floor. but like again, Tebow will not even attempt to reach out to me.
no one will bother Paul on Paul's time. Yes. Well, guys, this was an absolute blast. I told you this would be fun.
It was great.
That's it.
And, that's it, dude.
Wow, it feels quick. I thought we were ready to get started.
It's been an hour. It's been an
Okay.
hour. Unless we want to cover anything else. I don't know. Is there something you want to cover?
Well, how much
buddy?
time do they have? It's 4:47.
Oh, we're early.
No, give it more time.
Okay. All right.
Just make up a topic.
All right. I have some clips.
We're in good
prepared
company.
then. All right. We are in good company. I told you would like them.
Cheers.
Boy, girl, boy, girl.
Yes.
So apparently I have coffee.
You guys have clearly seen a lot of restaurants come and go. You guys have clearly seen a lot of food trends as far as short form content goes. So I've prepared some clips.
Oh my God, he's ready.
Yeah, I'm always ready, baby.
Oh, I like her.
Yes. So there's good stuff, and then there's stuff for the sake of visual insanity, and then there's bad stuff. And I prepared one of these.
No, she's not.
No. This is an
She's good.
example. This is an example.
I like her.
Of good content.
A couple years ago, I became obsessed with the idea of making the perfect hamburger. So we're doing it again.
Oh,
Yeah. She got the cuts right.
she got the cuts right. Onions, okay. She's not making the French onion soup burger, is she? Dude.
Well, fuck. First off, her technique is down.
It's good.
She got short rib. She got skirt over there,
And that's it.
and that's it. No,
Yeah,
you're
how has
already.
she got this in her house though? This little like meat.
I mean,
process.
she's got the grinder, but after she cut it, she put it back in the fridge.
Yes.
She's
Can you actually even put it in the freezer?
100%.
Oh shit! Well, she's
Told you.
she's closing up on my game here.
I told you.
Okay.
I curate these, buddy. Okay. Watch. No. Watch. Keep watching.
She's making my Mornay sauce. Dude, she made her own
Yeah.
And that's why American cheese is cheese. It's not cheese. It's a cheese sauce.
Yeah.
That's been solidified. It's a dehydrated cheese sauce.
Yeah.
And that's why it melts so amazing. So for all those haters that like American cheese is not cheese.
Bro, watch this.
Oh!
Look at that crust on
Perfect.
there. Perfect.
Perfect.
Right? Fucking perfect.
What's her name? Oh.
Olivia Teed.
Oh.
So not quite.
Okay, so it's not my burger.
Yeah, it's not your burger. And I just wanted to scare you.
Okay.
I knew you'd get scared.
Yeah, I was gonna get scared a little bit. But that is an awesome fucking burger.
That's also an example of awesome content.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And then this to me is an example. This is a reaction content on this guy's. It's Bear Dough Weirdo. Oh. All right.
Beardo. Beard.
Beardo.
Beardo.
Weirdo.
Weirdo.
Okay. He is reacting to, and this is what I consider content for the sake of visual shock. Almost, right?
Cutting circles out of a pizza? We better be saving the end. We're oh yeah, we're putting burgers on that shit. Woo, yeah. Okay, sorry. I get excited for burgers and pizza. We put that shit together. I'm gonna get excited just a little. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Oh, they put the lid on right. Yeah. I love burger pizzas. Hell yeah. Danger food.
So is he being serious that he likes the burger pizza, or is
Well,
he
he's reacting to it.
Okay.
It's a burger, it's a pizza, it's a burger pizza. You know.
To be fair, like it looks fine. It looks quite nice. It doesn't look horrendous. They're not trying to be.
Listen, would I get excited about it? No. Would I eat it? Yes.
Fuck yeah. But this is this is a very visual type of content. You know.
I like his beard, Beardo. I like Beardo's beard.
And then there's
I'm
stuff
working on it.
like this.
Oh no.
That. This was just about half
Oh my god.
of a Velveeta cheese. We're just gonna take shredded hash browns and gently sprinkle those in there. And then we just have a sweet white onion. We're just gonna take about half of those at first. We'll see how many we can fit. And then you're just gonna take olive oil. This is extra virgin, but you can use whatever
unsubscribe.
kind you want. And then you're gonna take
speaking of which, Frenchy, do you know how much of our audience is not subscribed?
Well, like how many views you get, how many of those people aren't subscribed?
We can see on the analytics that many of you are not subscribed. Frenchy, can you please?
It doesn't compute. Why are they not?
Well, can you please tell them to subscribe?
Subscribe now. Tout de suite.
breadcrumbs.
This gets
and
work.
Just give your turkey a good sprinkle. And then you're just gonna take the rest of that leftover Velveeta cheese and just cover it as much as you can with whatever you got left.
Do you see, these are the minutes of my life I don't get back.
And pop that bird
he does
in
to me.
there.
I don't get this time.
I think this is like intentionally.
Okay, first of all, I want to show you all that right there is separated fat from the Velveeta.
Yeah.
And they definitely were cooking it at some point. They're like, oh shit, the Velveeta's burning. Let's pour a little more on top for visual effect. There is nothing redeeming about this.
No.
This is what I mean by content for the sake of shock value.
Yeah, that's why the digital space of restaurants and recipes are interesting because, okay, with a restaurant, if we say something about it, you can go try for yourself and create an opinion. You could recreate the recipe that someone's cooking, but if you don't do it exact same, it's not.
And we touched on
what
this,
they made.
like on a PR sense. Like they know that everything is visual, so all the pictures are based on visual. So I can see the food. Colors, it contrasts, it looks pretty. But I know for a fact I'm gonna eat that and it's gonna taste like shit.
Yeah, or it just doesn't work.
But the visual looks great.
Like you and I know that's going to taste like shit.
When it was pictures too, it was all about oversaturation and just bringing the brightest colors out, and it didn't make any sense. When
or showmanship. There's showmanship. I'm like,
salt.
We're guilty of a few cheese pulls. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Well, cheese pulls are always kind of epic. But yeah, I mean, that's another visual thing for sure.
Yeah.
You know? I want to end on something very strong because Frenchy and I have strong opinions about what a chef is. Because I think in today's social media age, everybody calls himself a fucking chef. Well, guess what? You're not a fucking chef. I'm a chef. He's a chef. They're not chefs, but they're cool. But not everybody is a fucking chef.
We've never tried to call ourselves chefs as well. And one reason we didn't do recipes is because we know people can truly do recipes properly. And if you're trying to do it on the internet too much, you're just pumping stuff out that makes no sense. And we had a food truck, we have that background, we've worked in hospitality, but never have we tried to be like we're cooks or chefs. We had a food truck. I stood in front of a deep fat fryer and cooked chicken wings for 14 hours a day. Yeah. And that's what I was good at. Like I maybe be like, I was a cook for a tiny minute, but I'd never be like,
there's nothing
chefs
wrong
or
with
anything
being
like
a
that.
cook.
But why complicate your bio with the word chef?
So this guy really breaks down.
That mustache alone. Oof.
This guy really breaks down what a chef is.
Between a chef and a cook. A chef is a general, somebody that commands the kitchen.
I've said this.
A cook is somebody that produces all the food. It's the difference between a sailor and the captain of the ship. The
Have I
sailor
not used
needs
these
to do his
exact
job
words
and
with
needs
you?
to know his job. The chef is there to make sure that his job is done right. Not everybody is a chef. That's a big mistake that we made. Everybody that is in the kitchen, oh, I'm a chef. I can hear these kids, 20-year-old, they never tasted food before. They come out of eating tacos and burgers and they want to come in the kitchen and cook real food. You're not a fucking chef. Get out of my face. A chef is somebody that doesn't lose his cool when something goes wrong. Cooks always lose their shit. As soon as they get a special order, they're like, oh my God. Chef is somebody that, okay, if there is a problem, something needs to be fixed or organized, then the chef should be there, not to lose his cool, but to organize and get it done.
Problems arise and the fucking general has to assert the situation and fucking...
Not to say that you and I haven't lost our shit a few times here and there. It's
what does that have to do with being... No, you can lose your shit.
You can lose your shit, but...
In fact, in that kitchen, you're the only one who can lose their shit.
Yeah.
And fucking curse and lose their shit. Everybody's got to be like,
And we spoke about the 10,000 hours, you know, for you to really master a skill, you have to put in a minimum of 10,000 hours. And one point that I brought up was that the 10,000 hours, you stated that the 10,000 hours is for you to have the command over something where you can make it your own. What I added to that on the 10,000 hours is the repetition. You make this dish when it's humid outside, when it's dry outside, when you got the wrong size produce, when you burn something, you know how to recover because you've repeated the same fucking thing so many times, you know how to juggle the variables. That is what makes a chef. So all those people who cook content, this is the fast content, and can make a recipe to the T in the comfort of their own home, that's all fine and dandy. But to me, you are not a chef until you have fucking 200 covers in the dining room and the cook dropped all the sauce for the day and you have to fucking figure out, you know, he had a pot of sauce and dropped it or something, or it got burnt. How do you recover from that, right? How do you keep everyone fucking cool and figure out how we're gonna get through service because 10 orders were already made for that dish?
Genius under duress.
Yeah, not to say we're geniuses. We're fucking morons. Don't listen to us.
Well, compared to you, I'm a genius.
It's okay. I can take the abuse, guys. Don't you worry.
I think that was the first abusive thing you've done all day. Though. I've listened to some of the other podcasts, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be.
I think we tend to be a little bit more kind to each other when we have guests.
Right.
No, we're definitely much more fucking brutal off camera.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. But also, I'm not a little bitch, so you can fucking talk shit to me all you want. Whatever, man. Like, listen. You can't have thin skin in the kitchen.
Then I will judge my success by the day I make you cry.
How many times have you tried to piss me off and I didn't even notice? There are times where he'll like tap on something, like for like a good 10 minutes, and I'll just not, and then he'll start to get annoyed that I'm not annoyed.
That's the worst.
Yeah.
And you wound yourself up.
Yeah. I know how to handle Frenchy. I don't know. I don't know if you can make me cry. Do you know why? And I'm going to end it with this.
Because you love me.
Yes, because I love you, buddy. And I love you guys too. Thank you so
Thanks
much
for having us on.
Yeah, it was
for
good.
coming
It's really
on
fun.
the podcast.
This is our very first podcast.
Did you notice how
It's a
nobody said
privilege.
it back?
Yeah, for once. For fucking once, because I'm always the one throwing I love yous and I have to dig it out of him. Anyway, with that said, I love you guys very much. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Before we go, look into the camera and tell people where they can who you are and where they can find you.
You tell them, Laura.
Consuming Couple on pretty much, well, TikTok, Instagram, and now YouTube, which we're really excited about. We just did an Arthur Avenue food tour, so go check it out.
All right, make sure you check them out. And with that said, don't be afraid to fail because it can only make you stronger. With that said, I'm Chef BriantsAO, not your typical chef.
Frenchy.
And we'll see you really soon. Say bye to the wide cam.
Which one?
Back there because that one turned off.
I was like, we don't.